Bulldogs and the Warriors ready to go tonight here inside the Sports Center. Sterling on the road, and it's blue unis with white numbers. The Bulldogs at home in white with red numbers. And McPherson's Danny Holt wins the opening tip, but it ends up in the hands of the Warriors.
And Upchurch is on Comley. Upchurch, a very good defensive player, even though she's just a freshman.
Kyla Comley, one of the best players in this conference, will pass over to the far side for Bailey Banger. Now up top for Bethany Stuckey. Comley on the right wing, looking to drive in with 10 to shoot. Comley dribbles in, kicks it back out. Ashley Carrillo drives in, crazy shot, no good. And the first rebound of the game for Brittany Roberts, who averages 13 per game. See if they want to feed the rock inside for Roberts. Roberts right to the rim, left hand, and scores. Brittany Roberts with the rebound and the bucket makes it 2-0 Bulldogs.
And if the Bulldogs can turn this Sterling team over, that's going to be the key. This team doesn't turn it over very much. They got the Banger twins. The other one comes off the bench.
Long shot there by by over on the far side of the floor by Alexis Theus, no good. Rebound going the other way. Mosley dribbles in, nearly travels, and that basketball is ripped away on the play by Bethany Stuckey. Up the floor for Bangert. Bangert hesitates for a moment, fires a left-handed three, no good. Rebound Mason Mosley. Now to Danny Holt up the floor. Holt, backdoor pass. Kanaja Upchurch off the window and good. 4-0 Bulldogs to start, minute 15 in.
Yeah, the perfect start for the Bulldogs. This is what you want to do. You don't want to get yourself in a hole, and find out where Comley and Banger are, because they can really shoot it. There's an easy basket.
Nice pick and roll as Carrillo's able to go over the top and score. Jessica Carrillo, the 5'10 senior from Garden City, gets the Warriors on the board for the first time tonight.
Another key for the Bulldogs, Jim. They've got to hit some outside shots. Zone for Sterling. They know the Bulldogs are not a good three-point shooting team, so they're going to sit in that zone and say, beat us from the outside.
Ellie Gillen inside to Danny Holt. Back to Gillen. Now up top, Upchurch with 10 to shoot. Into the lane, Roberts. Roberts to the rack. Left hand, can't get that one to go. Holt contests the rebound, but grabbed by Alexis Theus. Up the floor, Kyla Comley to the rim. Too easy. That is not where they want to get beat tonight, with Kyla Comley running wide open to the rim. Now to the other end, Brittany Roberts was lurking. She's fouled and will go to the free throw line for two. And foul number one on Kyla Comley.
And that's what Sterling does, on the other end, though. They shoot a ton of layups. They beat teams down the floor with their speed, and that's why they shoot such a high percentage, because they shoot a lot of layups.
Yeah, so far this season, Sterling at 49% from the floor. The Bulldogs on the season at 40%. First free throw for Brittany Roberts is good.
And it's going to be imperative for Brittany tonight. She gets the ball in such tremendous scoring position all the time. She's got to finish around the basket. She's had some trouble at times not getting the ball high enough on the backboard, but boy, she's having an All-American type year, and it's just because of hard work and determination.
Second one for Brittany Roberts, pops in and then spins back out. So it's 5-4 Bulldogs. Just over 2 minutes gone here in the game tonight. Theus from the corner of three knocks it down. And that is not where they want to get beat as well. Alexis Theus now 8 out of 14 from three on the season.
Yeah, you can't leave shooters. Danny Holt hard to the basket.
Inside and scores. Danny Holt's able to score as the Bulldogs tie it back up at 7, turning up the pressure here.
And Coach Nichols not happy because he sees too many open Warriors right now. The Bulldogs having, I don't know if they got some confusion on defense or what, but they're letting a lot of open shots here early.
Shot comes in from the elbow by Alexis Theus, and a rebound for the Bulldogs. Mason Mosley over to the right wing for Kanaja Upchurch. Inside, Roberts stops and dribbles on the block. Back to Holt. Holt now to Mosley, pumps on a three. Mosley throws a little floater up. That's no good, and a rebound in the corner by Kyla Comley.
And I'll tell you, Sterling just on the attack. They just fly down the floor.
Banger, backdoor, Theus off the window. That one is too easy. Theus now leads the game with 5, 9-7 Warriors.
Yeah, and it's a layup drill right now for Sterling just because they are beating the Bulldogs back.
Brittany Roberts passes into the right corner for Kanaja Upchurch. Upchurch drives in, absorbs some contact. First shot won't go, but they get the rebound on the offensive glass. Holt spinning in, left hand, she's fouled, and will go to the free throw line for two.
And I think it's important for Danny Holt to be offensive, look to score tonight.
Foul is on Alexis Theus, junior out of Kempner, Texas.
Casey Bassett, the Sterling women's coach, has done a tremendous job. She's in her 6th year. She was the late Lonnie Cruz's coach on the floor when she played for Sterling. She's got a bunch of, I believe, assist records. Just a tremendous player in her day.
A couple of subs come in for Sterling. Emily Hendrickson, 5'4" sophomore from Haven. His first free throw for Danny Holt is up and good, as well as Brenna Eilert, 5'9" junior from Beloit, and a product of St. John's Tipton High School.
And again, we talked about Sterling, a bunch of 1A, 2A type Kansas kids. They don't recruit very far away.
As Danny Holt knocks down both and ties the game back up at 9 apiece. Very fast pace to start this game between the Warriors and the Bulldogs, approaching the halfway mark here in the first quarter.
Well, I've been impressed that the Bulldogs have been able to match Sterling point for point.
Hendrickson, step back, long two. That's too strong, and a rebound pulled in by Danny Holt, her second of the game. Now Ellie Gillen passes inside. Nice cut. Mason Mosley can't get that one to go from underneath.
And that's the kind of shots that you've got to make if you want to pull the massive upset.
Kyla Comley, backdoor. Emily Hendrickson with the layup on the backside. And again, all that attention on Kyla Comley has allowed the Warriors to be open. They lead 11-9.
Well, the Bulldogs are going to have to make some adjustments defensively because they are just getting beat down the floor, and Sterling is shooting nothing but layups.
Mosley tries to pass inside, but out of bounds off of Sterling. And like we mentioned, sitting in a 2-3 zone and trying to bait the Bulldogs into some shots from behind the arc. So far, they haven't taken one.
Yeah, the Bulldogs are doing a good job of ball movement, though.
Mason Mosley up top for Brittany Roberts. Hands off Ellie Gillen with 10 to shoot. Gillen dribbles to her right, dumps it inside Roberts. Roberts spins in, great move off the window and good. Brittany Roberts going to work inside, ties the game up at 11-11.
Yeah, I mean, she's not giving up a lot of size. Unlike other games, she's giving up 3 or 4 inches, so she is just using her strength.
Bangert dumps it inside. Carrillo trips while she's going in, and they will call her for a foul underneath. Before the travel, foul is going to be called on Ellie Gillen. Her first, team foul number 1 on the Bulldogs, and Jessica Carrillo will have 2.
And we have not seen any subs for the Bulldogs. I'm sure Brittany Jarvis, we will see her very soon, probably Harlow. We're going to see some subs because this pace is just frenetic.
First free throw for Carrillo is a little strong, 67% on the season so far. And Steve, you mentioned a lot of 1A, 2As. Well, Carrillo from the powerful 6A Garden City. And the second one is good. Carrillo with 3 points here early. Made a Stahlbomber now will check in as well for this Sterling team.
And Brittany Jarvis is going to be the first Bulldog sub. She's normally a starter. Ellie Gillen
left open on the wing. That three's too strong. Rebound bounces off the top of the backboard, nearly kept alive by Danny Holt and secured by Kyla Comley. Halfway through the first quarter, 12-11 Sterling.
And the Bulldogs, again, that 2-3, Sterling is just daring them to shoot because the Bulldogs near the bottom in the KCAC in three-point percentage.
Mosley almost jumps the pass to Bangert. Bangert step back three right in front of the Bulldog bench. No. Offensive rebound and stuff back is there for Brenna Eilert for the Sterling team to lead by 3, 14-11.
Yeah, you just worry about a Sterling run.
How about a Gillen three to tie, and that's good. Ellie Gillen knocks down the tray, the first of the game for the Bulldogs. 14-14, 4.5 to go in the first.
They're going to need Gillen and Jarvis to hit some threes tonight if they want to pull this upset.
Bangert, backdoor. Comley drives in, and she's called for the offensive foul. Danny Holt wears the charge, and Comley picks up her second personal foul here in the first 6 minutes.
And that's the other thing the Bulldogs need. They need Sterling to help them a little bit, like getting in foul trouble. That is huge. Comley, she's probably done for the rest of the first quarter.
Well, she stays in the game. Sydney Bangert, the twin sister of Bailey Bangert, now in the game. It's tough on the scouting report when they look the same.
Well, the Heston coaches remember the Bangerts very well. I know when Matt Richardson used to always talk to us is we got to stop the Bangerts.
Danny Holt tips out the rebound off of the miss by Brittany Jarvis. They forget about Mason Mosley. She tries a three. That one's too strong. Rebound, Emily Hendrickson.
Got to get back. Here they come. They're on the attack.
Hendrickson dribbles in, kicks out. Eilert a three, and they will call an offensive foul.
And you look at the fouls. That's 4 for Sterling now. Hendrickson in disbelief. A very late call, I will say that.
It was after the shot had been fired, and Ellie Gillen wears the charge.
Tatum Griffin's going to come into the game, and she had a good game during the road trip. She had a 7-point game in one of the games.
Bulldogs and Warriors tied at 14. 3:40 left to go first quarter. Brittany Jarvis, open tray from the top. It's good. Brittany Jarvis knocks down the three. That's her 20th of the season at 30%. 17-14 Bulldogs.
And Haley Hurst, who was on our pregame show, getting ready to come in.
Hendrickson trying to match her from the wing. Too strong. Rebound, Danny Holt.
Danny Holt playing with tremendous energy tonight. They got back.
Up the floor for Brittany Roberts and stolen away by Kyla Comley, who's playing with 2 fouls. Comley dribbles in traffic. Comley steps in, tries one from 12, and somehow gets it to go while getting her arm knocked away. Bulldogs still lead by 1.
Yeah, she was complaining she got fouled. I think she had a legitimate gripe.
Mosley passes to Gillen here on the wing. Roberts and Holt working inside. Jarvis tries the heat check 3. That's no good. Nearly a foul on Mosley, but Hendrickson rips away the basketball. Hendrickson passes to Banger. Banger on the baseline. Dumps it down to Stahlbomber. Stahlbomber's pass inside is deflected. Hendrickson grabs it on the perimeter. Hendrickson matched up on Brittany Roberts. Gets a high screen. And now back into the hands of Kyla Comley with 10 on the timer. Wants a high screen. Comley matched up on Danny Holt. Comley spins in, nice move, pulls up from 10, won't get the roll. Stahlbomber, offensive rebound, and the putback is good to give the Warriors the lead. Maida Stahlbomber with her first basket, 18-17 Sterling. Jarvis pumps on a 3, back to Brittany Roberts, who has not taken a 3 on the year. Ellie Gillen tries another one, that's no good, and a rebound for Kyla Comley, that's her 3rd.
And again, Sterling leaking people out.
Banger, open 3. This one is too strong. Rebound, Brittany Jarvis. Rolls it for Brittany Roberts. Roberts with a hand on the basketball. A jump ball is called. Possession arrow in favor of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, we got mass substitutions for the Bulldogs. Ellie Gillen has played herself to exhaustion, and you got to give these Bulldogs a lot of credit. Most teams are blown out quite often, and we have a player in that we have not seen all year. Molly Schulte-Heinrich, I believe her name is.
There you go, Steve.
She's a newcomer, and she's been injured, so this is going to be for our first look to see what kind of player she is.
And it's her first look of the season. Brittany Jarvis, Kirsten Branscombe, Haley Hurst, as well as Tatum Griffin and Molly Schulte-Heinrich. And then Haley Hurst can't get the shot from 5 feet to go. Rebound, Emily Hendrickson, and a bump called on Brittany Jarvis in the backcourt.
Not a bad foul, though, because the Bulldogs with just one team foul until then. We have 1:43 to go, so they shouldn't be able to get Sterling in the double bonus before the quarter's over unless they just have a rash of fouls here. But again, Bulldogs doing a great job of hanging in there. The difference to me is Sterling's getting a lot of easy baskets.
Schulte-Heinrich is a 5'9" junior from St. Charles, Missouri, in St. Louis Community College.
And we were told she's a really good shooter.
And she was one that Coach Nichols really wanted to see earlier on in the season, but it's just been hurt. Bangered on the wing, works around a screen by Bethany Stuckey, and they will call a double dribble as Sydney Banger was trying to pass one to the back door for Bethany Stuckey.
Bethany Stuckey, of course, the Mound Ridge product, and had a great career. And there's a Bulldogs got away with one there.
As Brittany Jarvis comes up and gets the pass, she says, hey, the pass was intended for me. Jarvis hits the deck, and they will call a jump ball, and the ball will go back to Sterling.
Yeah, Brittany Jarvis just lost her balance there and fell to the floor.
So Sterling will inbound here on the near sideline. 1:24 left to go, first quarter.
The big concern with this lineup on the floor is defense. I don't think the Bulldogs have their strongest defensive lineup on the floor here.
Back into the game is Bailey Banger. Takes the pass from her sister Sydney. Inside for Bethany Stuckey, and the foul will be called on Molly Schulte-Heinrich, 5'9" junior from St. Charles, Missouri. Inbounding on the baseline will be the Warriors. That's just the 3rd foul on the Bulldogs. Pass up to the top here. Banger driving in. Banger left hand and scores. Bailey Banger with her first basket makes it 20-17.
Yeah, and again, I bet if you look at the shot chart, Sterling, almost all their baskets are within 3 feet.
Haley Hurst dumps it down inside. Schulte-Heinrich, good. Molly Schulte-Heinrich with her first basket of the season makes it 20-19.
Well, we know Sterling can score at this pace. This is normal for them. Can the Bulldogs maintain this offensive pace? They've been terrific, and a great defensive stop there by the Bulldogs. They get the turnover on an offensive foul.
Foul is called on Jessica Carrillo. That is her first, team foul number 5, as Brittany Jarvis wears the charge. Brittany has started about 90% of the games this season for the Bulldogs, but moves as the 6th man off the bench.
Boy, these
sixth woman.
These Bangert twins can really play some defense. They just get right in your face.
Brittany Jarvis being defended by Sydney Bangert. Up top for Kirsten Branscombe. Pumps, drives in. Branscombe tries to get this one off the window, but got herself underneath the basket a little too much. Outlet up the floor for Bailey Bangert, and the Warriors want the final shot.
And the Bulldogs got lucky there because Sterling had numbers and didn't realize it. They had about a 4-on-2 there.
Here's Alexis Theus at the volleyball line with 10 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 20-19 Warriors. Theus off the bounce, drives in, too strong. Rebound, Carrillo, and they will call a foul on Brittany Jarvis. A little late whistle. I thought that maybe it was a lot of ball there, but instead the foul is on Jarvis. Her second, team foul number 4, and Jessica Carrillo, who just a moment ago was 1 for 2 at the line, will have 2 more.
It'll be interesting to see the rebounding numbers. It seems like Sterling has gotten a few offensive rebounds on missed shots, getting putbacks, and drawing fouls.
Well, Steve, there's only been 2 Sterling offensive rebounds.
Okay, just seemed like a bunch.
And 2 for the Bulldogs as Carrillo knocks down both. 22-19 with 4 seconds left. Tatum Griffin at half court with 2, with 1. Runner, this one a little short, and that will do it for quarter number 1 here inside the Sports Center. End of the first 10 minutes. Sterling 22, Bulldogs 19. This is McPherson College basketball. (22-19) Sterling here as we start the second quarter from inside the McPherson College Sports Center. Steve, as we look at the numbers from quarter number 1, 5 points for Brittany Roberts for the Bulldogs, 4 for Danny Holt, 3 each for Ellie Gillen and Brittany Jarvis, and then 2 each for Molly Schulte-Henrich as well as Kanaja Upchurch.
And as Coach Nichols often does, his bench starts the second quarter. He has no starters on the floor.
Tatum Griffin, as well as Haley Hurst, who just received the pass, as well as Kirsten Branscombe, Brittany Jarvis, and Molly Schulte-Henrich on the floor. Inside, Hurst going to work, left hand, spins it and out. Rebound grabbed underneath by Kirsten Branscombe, but the possession arrow should be in favor of Sterling after the Bulldogs inbounded to start.
Great move by Haley Hurst, just could not finish. Those are the kind of shots. If you want to pull the upset, though, you've got to finish. Bulldogs need to get back on defense. Sterling in that first quarter, 9 of 19, so shooting a very quality percentage.
Sterling with its 5 starters of Alexis Theus, Jessica Carrillo, Kyla Comley, Bethany Stuckey, as well as Bailey Bangert on the floor. 30 seconds gone here in quarter number 2. It's a 22-19 Sterling lead. Theus drives in, pops from 10, no good. Rebound grabbed by Tatum Griffin. Tatum Griffin, 5'6" freshman from Edmond, Oklahoma, drives in and gets the roll. Tatum Griffin hung up in the air, got the roll, and it's a 1-point Sterling lead.
Yeah, I love Tatum Griffin's aggressiveness there. She was either going to score or draw the foul.
Kyla Comley playing with 2 fouls, has to be careful. Dribbles in, absorbs some contact. Comley passes back to a trailing Jessica Carrillo, and she is fouled and will go to the line for 2. And Steve, I've mentioned it a couple of times that the attention that Comley draws tends to lead to open looks like that.
Yeah, it really does. Now Upchurch back in for Jarvis. I thought Upchurch did a really nice job in her first stint, played really good defense. She's very long, very athletic, very quick. Sterling, though, getting to the free throw line.
Jessica Carrillo knocks down the first. Coming into the game, she had only taken 21 free throws in 10 games, so not a ton of time spent at the line.
Got a good stroke, though.
But Carrillo now 4 for 5, make it 5 for 6 here to start this game, and Sterling rebuilds its lead back to 3.
Sterling now showing a little half-court trap.
Branscombe up the floor for Haley Hurst, and this one a little too tall, and off of the fingertips of Haley Hurst, out of bounds, and a turnover on the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that was a little different defense they showed that time, and got Branscombe kind of sped up a little bit there.
Jessica Carrillo and the Warriors have had a pretty good plan so far in this game for how to break out of the Bulldog pressure.
Yeah,
a lot of teams have really struggled with that.
Well, Holton Roberts getting ready to come back now. As Coach, Coach Nichols knows he's got to keep his starters on the floor, and there's a turnover for Sterling.
Exchanging turnovers as Carrillo throws this one down to the baseline. Ellie Gillen, Danny Holt, Brittany Roberts back in. Kanaja Upchurch, one of the starters on the floor.
Pretty
and
good
Mason
job.
Mosley, the only starter not back in the game.
Pretty good job by the Bulldog bench that time.
24-21, Sterling showing that full court pressure. Upchurch passes to the near side for Griffin. Griffin to Gillen, and they cross the time stripe. Upchurch thought about a deep three, dumps it inside for Danny Holt, nearly tips it back out to Brittany Roberts, then nearly stolen away by Upchurch. Carrillo in the corner uses an arm to push off, and they will say it's a reach on the Bulldogs.
If they go straight up with their arms, they probably don't get that, but a little bit of a reach there. Sterling up three, you have to worry about them taking off on a run. That's what you really worry about.
Well, the thing I thought I saw in that mix there was that Carrillo had used that arm to separate and push off, and that's why I thought there was going to be an offensive foul for that offensive arm bar, but instead they call the reach on Upchurch. That is her first, team foul number 2 here in the second quarter. Theus on the wing, matched up on Ellie Gillen. Stuckey now to the elbow for Carrillo. Fakes and drives. Carrillo, runner is good. Nice take by Jessica Carrillo, who is taking over the game with 9 points here early and a 5-point Sterling lead. Pass into the corner for Gillen. Had a look at three, but they had not caught it cleanly. Gillen back to Mosley. Pumps on a three. Drives the baseline. Back to Holt. Nearly travels. Now out to Upchurch. Upchurch jumps and passes. Mosley pulls up from 15. No. Offensive rebound, Brittany Roberts spins in. Roberts, contact, no foul. Rebound, Mosley.
Oh,
a lot of contact, no foul.
How is there not a foul on that play? My goodness.
Here comes Theus up the floor. Alexis Theus runs into 2 different Bulldogs, and she will be called for the charge. I've never seen somebody run through almost 3 different players on a charge.
They are letting a lot of contact go underneath the basket. They're letting them play, that's for sure. Mosley looked like drew the foul. I don't know.
I thought Holt was in there. I thought that Gillen was in there.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean on the offensive end?
Yeah, on the offensive end. Mosley just, did a great job, I thought, of taking the basket. Here comes Sterling now. They are really up in their trap. Gillen got away with a walk there, and now she double dribbled. So she got away with the walk, but Justice ended up prevailing because she double dribbled right after that.
26-21 Sterling, 7:10 left to go here in the second quarter.
Well, Sterling, they just apply so much pressure, both offensively and defensively. They just kind of eventually make you break.
The Bulldogs have taken 3 more shots, but are just 8 out of 24 from the floor. Sterling 10 for 21. Comley stops, passes back up top for Eilert. Now Carrillo trying to go inside. Carrillo passes back out to Bangert. Bangert spins in, draws 2, and a great steal by Brittany Roberts, trying to beat everybody down to the other end. Roberts, the layup is too strong, and a rebound for Bailey Bangert.
She just flat shanked the layup.
Bangert passes into the corner, open look for Hendrickson, a 3, no. Danny Holt, volleyball, spikes the ball out of bounds off of Ellie Gillen, and this will be Sterling basketball.
I don't know if Brittany took her eye off the basket or what, but she had a wide open layup and just basically missed the whole basket.
26-21 with 6:32 left to go in the second quarter. Kyla Comley throws a dangerous pass up top.
And the Bulldogs have slowed down considerably on the offensive end, Jim. They're struggling to score a little bit now.
Comley with 4 points in the game so far. Jumps and passes. Hendrickson open 3 from the wing, no. And a rebound by Bailey Bangert, and it ends up being tipped to Kyla Comley. Hendrickson pumps and drives. Hendrickson nearly blocked by Danny Holt, but will go to the line for 2 as Holt is called for the foul.
Well, Sterling has unbelievable quickness at both ends of the floor. They are now on a 12-4 run here. The Bulldogs were up 17-14 after a three-pointer by Jarvis, but since then it has been all Sterling.
Steve, whenever we talked with Danny Holt for our coaches show a few weeks back, she was talking about how she really thought she would be a great college volleyball player. That was where she kind of saw herself going as Hendrickson knocks down the first. And you can see that with some of her defensive abilities of being able to move laterally and side to side very well, and also being able to swat at the basketball as Hendrickson knocks down both.
And Sterling really starting to make some hay at the free throw line. They are an outstanding free throw shooting team.
So far they are, well, the stats haven't updated. Missed by Gillen, put back by Brittany Roberts, and that one is too easy. Brittany Roberts with 7. Bulldog lead or deficit is 5. Bangered up the floor, foul called on Mason Mosley underneath, and that will send Sterling right back to the free throw line.
And that's
where
what you
got to
do. The Bulldogs not getting back on defense, and all they could do was foul. You got to be on your toes so much with this Sterling team. They just fly up and down the floor.
Bailey Bangert is a 49% three-point shooter and an 83% free throw shooter as she knocks down the first. Sterling so far 8 for 9 at the line.
Well, you know, the Bulldogs have played great so far, and you look up, they're still down probably 7 after Bangert makes his free throw.
30-23 as Bailey Bangert does knock down the free throw.
And you can see why they score over 80 points a game in KCAC play.
Kanaja Upchurch passes into the corner. Ellie Gillen sets her feet, fires from 3, no. And a rebound secured underneath by Brenna Eiler.
Man, if we had the Ellie Gillen of last year, she's getting so many great looks. She's just not getting the ball to go in the basket. Last year, it just seemed like anytime the ball left her hand, you knew it was going to go in, but that just has not happened so far this year, but a lot of season left.
And now Upchurch is going to be called for the hand check, and that will put the very dangerous Kyla Comley at the free throw line for 2. She has taken 48 free throws so far this year.
And it's turning into a free throw contest for Sterling. They are just living at the free throw line. The Bulldogs not getting there at all. Fouls are definitely starting to go against the Bulldogs. They have 5 to just 1 for Sterling.
Here in the second quarter as Kyla Comley knocks down the first.
They've made 7 points. 7 of their 9 have come at the line in this quarter.
Sterling 10 out of 11 at the stripe, make it 11 out of 12 for a team that normally shoots it at 76% from the line. Comley now has 6, and the lead is 9, the largest of the game. Brittany Roberts probably got away with a travel. Pass underneath is taken away as they were trying to find Ellie Gillen. Here come the Warriors into a 3-on-2. Comley hesitates, passes back to a trailing Maida Stahlbomber, and blocked by Danny Holt. Here comes Mason Mosley into a 3-on-3. Mosley to a trailing Ellie Gillen, back to Mosley, dumps it inside. Roberts is fouled by Maida Stahlbomber, and this foul will be on the floor. Team foul number 2 on the Warriors.
Yeah, Bulldogs really struggling from the field this quarter. Gillen's going to come out. I think the pace is Ellie's kind of gotten sped up so much she's just not getting her feet set on her shot.
Brittany Harlow checks into the game. The senior from Lincoln, Kansas. Pass inside. Danny Holt with a left hand. It's good.
Really nice move by Danny Holt that time going to the off. I still think she can be a 15-point-a-game scorer. She just doesn't look to score that much, and Brittany Harlow got away with a foul.
As Emily Hendrickson tried to back it up into her. Eilert misses the second one after she gets her own offensive rebound, and here comes Brittany Roberts. Roberts dribbles in, and a reach will be called on Sterling. I couldn't quite tell who it was on. It will go on Maida Stahlbomber, who picks up her second straight foul.
And we have Abanaja in the game, a three-point shooter. So Coach Nichols trying to find some offense, and now Sterling going to the bench and making a wholesale change here. Several players coming
bringing
out.
back a lot of their starters into the lineup, and Jessica Carrillo as well as Bethany Stuckey. Kyla Comley as well as Sydney Bangert and Emily Hendrickson, the 5 on the floor.
Well, I'll be honest. I think the only question in the KCAC this year, can Sterling run the table and go 24-0? 24-0 in conference play.
I thought it was 118-0.
Well, yeah, I mean, God, it seems like we play 85 games in conference play. But right now, Sterling is way above everybody else in this conference.
Pass inside for Nicole Abunaja, and they will call that she stepped out of bounds.
Well, I thought she got pushed down, but apparently not. And Coach Nichols says, let's just run one play that we're supposed to. He is not happy with the execution right now.
That's what playing a team like this Sterling group can do to you. You get out of your normal routines, your normal patterns, and life becomes a lot more difficult. Hendrickson passes to Kyla Comley, being defended by Mason Mosley. Up top, Carrillo trying to throw it inside. Instead, passes it to the wing for Sydney Bangert. Bangert dribbles in, and now she is fouled and will go to the free throw line for 2.
Bulldogs just doing a lot of reaching right now. And the thing is, they're just more athletic. They're quicker. They're beating the Bulldogs off the dribble, and all you can do then is reach with the hands.
So that will put Sydney Banger to the free throw line for 2. The twin sister of Bailey, both 5'5".
And this is
both
just
from Kingman.
This is just turning into free throw practice for Sterling. They are just wearing the free throw line out. Let's see, 2 of 2, 4 of 4, 6 of 6. They are now 9 of 10 at the free throw line.
This quarter. 12 out of 14 in the game. Brittany Roberts passes to Mason Mosley, who pumps on a 3 in the corner. Lead is 8 for Sterling. The largest they have led by in this game is 9. Danny Holt spins. Passes to Nicole Abanaja, who tries a step-back 3. That's no good. Rebound, nearly grabbed by Brittany Roberts. Instead, they will say it's out of bounds off Bethany Stuckey, and the only reason it's out of bounds off of her is because Brittany Roberts landed on top of her.
Brittany Roberts fouled the heck out of her. That should have been a foul on Brittany, got away with it. They are calling it very loose at this end.
Now Stuckey probably should have been called for a foul, and I don't know if it'll be on her. I thought that was more of Brittany Roberts just slipping. I couldn't tell if it was on Stuckey. It was.
Well, the Bulldogs had 19 points after a quarter, only 6 this quarter. And that, again, Sterling just gets you so sped up and out of your game. They do to teams what the Bulldogs do on the defensive end. The Bulldogs love to get teams sped up and turning the ball over, but the Bulldogs kind of getting beat at their own game right now. Sterling, you can see why they're number 16 in the country. It makes me wonder, how in the world did they lose by 57 points to Concordia or whatever it was? I know it was over 50. I'm not sure what we got going.
They're trying to get 20 on the shot clock.
See if they can get a layup out of this somehow.
Mason Mosley will inbound. Bulldogs trail by 8 up top for Brittany Roberts. And they go ISO. Brittany wide open to the basket and scores. And a timeout taken by Sterling and Coach Casey Bassett. Well, that is not what you want to do in terms of defending Brittany Roberts, is let it be one-on-one and Brittany take you right to the basket. She's got 9, and the deficit is 6.
The strength of Brittany Roberts is just unbelievable.
But what a great play call that was.
It was, and she got right down the lane, and for some reason, Tatum Griffin now wearing 40.
Well, the reason for that is they don't have a number 13 in their white jerseys. They have a number 12, and Tatum had been wearing 12 at home, which belongs to Molly Schulte-Henrich. But now, Molly is back, and so they needed another jersey. So Tatum added 27 to her normal jersey number.
Okay.
And will still wear number 13 on the road.
And if you're the Bulldogs, you just want to keep this game within 5 or 6 points going into the half. You don't want to let Sterling take off on like a 10-0 run here to open up some space.
Jessica Carrillo drives and kicks. Sydney Banger thought about a 3, passes off for Bailey Banger. Into the corner, Comley open, leaves it short, gets her own miss. Comley nearly travels, but they go back out of the corner. Sydney Banger pumps and passes back out for Bailey Banger. Fresh 20 to shoot, down to 10. Comley dribbles to her left. Passes to the baseline. Sydney Banger, 15-footer, no. And a rebound was ripped out of the hands of Jessica Carrillo. Mosley up the floor. Brittany Roberts, left hand, can't get it to go.
You can't miss wide open layup.
Well, it was contested. I wouldn't call it wide open. Sydney Banger, layup won't go. That one wasn't wide open either, and that will go as a foul, I believe, on Nicole Abanaja. On Brittany Harlow.
To pull the upset, you've got to take advantage of every chance you can get. And Brittany Roberts, though, what a great job of running the floor. I mean, she just gets up and down the floor. I don't know how she can play so many minutes like she does because, I mean, she just is a warrior out there. And, man, this is just turning into nothing but free throw practice for Sterling. They are going to have half their points almost at the free throw line.
They are 13 of 15 at the line here with 3:03 to go in the first half.
And they're getting the right people to the line. They're getting the Bangerts and the Comleys and people like that.
Well, it was one of the Bangerts that flashed in there as Roberts was going to the basket there and got a hand right there near the basketball. I don't know if they made contact, but enough to throw off Brittany Roberts. Dangerous pass by Nicole Abanaja is taken away. Comley up the floor. Emily Hendrickson dribbles in. Hendrickson right hand to the rim, and that is too easy. Hendrickson was 6, the lead is 10, largest of the game.
And this is what I said. You can't let them go on a run before the half.
Nicole
move.
Abanaja, right hand, and she can't get the roll.
Oh, again, Bulldogs have missed a half dozen layups tonight.
Comley, no-look pass into the corner. Bailey Banger to three. It's good.
Got to get a timeout.
Bailey Banger now with 7 points, and in a flash, the Bulldogs trail by 13, 40-27.
That's exactly what I said. You can't let them go on a run again. Their athleticism is just off the charts. They are just faster than any team in the conference. They are in a league by themselves this year.
Well, Steve, you and I had a really good view of that pass there by Kyla Comley, dribbling right in front of us and really without looking, whipped it into the corner to a wide-open Bailey Banger for three, their best three-point shooter. There's some things that you just can't coach.
Right.
It's kind of like when Patrick Mahomes steps back for the Kansas City Chiefs and wings one to a wide-open Tyreek Hill without looking at him. Some things you just can't coach, and that's what Kyla Comley possesses for the Sterling
Bulldogs
team.
are playing. They're not playing bad basketball. They're playing well. It's just Sterling is just a superior team, can really shoot it. They just shoot the lights out, and they're very good defensively.
40-27, Sterling leads with 2:20 to go in the second quarter. Bulldogs trying for some answers. It looks like a 1-3-1 zone to me now, Steve. Roberts passes to Abanaja in the corner. Brittany Harlow tries a three. That one's too strong. Rebound out of bounds and back to Sterling.
And the Bulldogs just 2 of 12 from three. It's been their Achilles heel all year. They just not shot the basketball well from the three, and same thing as last year, but you got to like their fight. They have really hung in here as well as they can, but Sterling's been doing this to everybody. This is no surprise. They have just destroyed every team in the conference.
Comley, great pass up the floor for Emily Hendrickson. Dribbles back out into the corner with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, it was 33-27 just a minute and a half ago.
Bailey Banger drives in, kicks it out. Kyla Comley, open three. This one is short, and an air ball rebound by Ellie Gillen. Gillen now to Brittany Roberts. Roberts stops at the rim and scores.
Job.
Brittany Roberts with 11 of the Bulldogs' 29. The deficit is 11.
Man, does she run the floor. She's just out-athleting a lot of teams in here. Bulldogs doing that trapping defense, but they're leaving some people open on the backside.
Comley stops from 10, adjusts mid-shot, and is still able to get a shot up. And Brittany Roberts says, give me that basketball.
Man, what strength by Brittany Roberts.
Mosley draws contact, and the floater is good. Mason Mosley brings the deficit down to 9 with 1:10 to go before the half.
And the Bulldogs may be the team that gets the run here at the end of the half.
Hendrickson passes into the corner. Bailey Banger can't leave her open, and she makes him pay.
You cannot leave these shooters open. What a quarter for Sterling.
43-31, 55 seconds left to go second quarter. Harlow thought about a three in the corner. Ellie Gillen up top. Back to Brittany Harlow.
And they're going to give Harlow that shot all night long because she hasn't played very much this year.
Mosley to a wide open Ellie Gillen, a three. Off the back iron, no. Rebound, Brittany Roberts. Roberts and the Bulldogs get a fresh 20. Roberts trying to pass to somebody, ends up into the lap of Mason Mosley and somehow scores.
Great job by Roberts to see Mosley wide open. Sterling now will go for the last shot.
Now a dangerous pass by Comley. Gets it to Emily Hendrickson. Hendrickson drives in, and she is called for the travel. 17 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Bulldogs trail by 10.
Yeah, and they are surviving. Brittany Roberts coming out now. She just gave it her all. She played herself to exhaustion, and again, if she's not an All-American this year, then they might as well just do away with the award.
Well, remember that all first-team, all-conference performers receive some sort of All-American status.
That I did not know.
Yeah. And now a turnover by Bailey Bangert up the floor. Brenna Eilert stops at the block.
Looked like she traveled.
And she's able to score. Goes up over Danny Holt. 2 seconds, 1 second. And that is the halftime mark. Steve, for those fans that do not live here in the state of Kansas and could be listening or watching us tonight, the Kansas high school basketball season, you're not allowed to play until today. This is the first day, but most teams play on the Friday.
That's right. Hayes used to always have a
they've got one going on today.
Hayes always has a classic. I think Newton goes out there, teams like that. So Bulldogs with the ball. Let's see if they can cut into this lead early.
Mason Mosley, Brittany Roberts, Danny Holt, Ellie Gillen, and Kanaja Upchurch, the 5 to start. And immediately right down to the block for Brittany Roberts, and that was pretty easy. Wow. Brittany Roberts with 13.
I tell you, Brittany is just doing such a great job of making herself available inside. And they don't have anybody who can handle her. Just right after that, the Bulldogs give up one just as easy.
Alexis Theus there. Bailey Bangert also on the floor. Kyla Comley, as well as Jessica Carrillo dribbling in and losing. It was Gillen. Roberts gets it back. Put back won't go. Roberts then dives on the baseline to keep it alive, but it ends up in the lap of Alexis Theus. Comley as well as Carrillo down inside. They also have Bethany Stuckey. Carrillo, a little short 10 or 4-footer won't go. And then the rebound and putback is good by Bethany Stuckey.
And you heard a big roar, the Mound Ridge faction that's there.
And now a steal, Alexis Theus with a score.
Better get a timeout. You got to get a timeout. Settle it down. It's up to 16.
51-35, just a minute gone here in this third quarter. Ellie Gillen takes one from 18 and fires it about 20 feet. Ball tips out of bounds, and it will be back to Sterling.
Wow. If you got a chance to grab the ball when it's going out of bounds, do so. You can't count on the official to make the call. Ellie Gillen again wide open, but just can't seem to find the range so far this year.
So Sterling will inbound on the baseline. Alexis Theus throws one up the floor for Jessica Carrillo, and 2-on-1. Comley to Bethany Stuckey, left hand and good.
That's a layup drill. Bulldogs are just getting beat down the floor. They've given up 8 quick points here, and this game has gotten away.
Roberts somehow gets it to the basket and is able to score. Brittany Roberts with 15 and a timeout taken by Coach Nichols, who is heated about no foul call.
Yeah, Brittany Roberts just got mashed on that play, and Coach Nichols needs to be careful. You don't want to give him 2 free points when you're down 16. I know you want to protect your player, but you just don't want to give him 2 free points like that.
53-37 as we're just about 90 seconds here into this third quarter.
And there, man, he didn't need that. I know he's trying to protect his player, but sometimes you got to let it go. And again, Coach Nichols fired up, understandably, and Gary Pauls gives him the tee. I think Gary gave him a lot of rope, and he just persisted and got the tee. So this is probably going to be 2 points for Sterling because they just don't miss free throws.
So it's 53-37, Sterling with 8:31 left to go here in the third quarter.
And he can't get anyone to talk to him. That's he says, hey, I wasn't done talking to you. Gary Pauls, I think, had enough of it, though, and he doesn't want to hear any more.
So Sterling will have a couple of free throws, and Kyla Comley will step up and try a pair.
Man, I'll tell you, this Sterling team can score so fast. They have scored 8 points in a minute and a half.
So far tonight, the Bulldogs have really done a pretty good job of holding Kyla Comley in check.
Yeah.
Whenever it is just single digits next to all of her stats, you're doing something right. 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists.
And that goes as a team foul, too. But, Brittany Roberts just gets hammered so much, and it's never called. I know she's so physical a player, but you got to protect her, too. She just can't get beat on the whole game.
So Kyla Comley, the junior from not only Sterling College, but Sterling High School.
And she
misses the first.
I think I would have had Banger the way she's been knocking free throws down. I would have had her shooting free throws.
The best free throw shooter on the team is Emily Hendrickson at 94% on the season, but she's not taken as many as Comley has, and now she makes the second. So Comley up to 7 points.
Well, that only cost the Bulldogs 1, so really all in all didn't hurt them too much.
54-37 Sterling, 8:31 left to go, third quarter. As Bailey Bangert will inbound over on the far sideline and feeds the rock into the backcourt for Kyla Comley. And just remember that Comley still has another year of terror under her belt.
Yeah, and a lot of these Sterling players have at least one more year of terror.
Jessica Carrillo dribbles in,
3
dishes
seconds.
off to Bethany Stuckey, goes up, shot is blocked, goes out of bounds, and they'll say it's off of the Bulldogs.
And that should have been 3 seconds. She was in there. I think she could have built a fort while she was in there.
The former Mound Ridge Wildcat, Bethany Stuckey, from just about 12 miles down the road here in McPherson. Carrillo dribbles in, tries to go over the top, can't get it to go. Stuckey offensive rebound, kicks out Kyla Comley, draws the double team, back to Bailey Bangert, passes to the wing for Alexis Theus. Theus dribbles in, kicks it out to Comley in the corner. Comley drives in, all sorts of contact, a block on Brittany Roberts, and one, as Comley has a chance at a three-point play. Roberts, her first foul.
Yeah, that's a good call. Brittany kind of threw her shoulder into her. She was trying to draw the charge, but she leaned into her, and I'll tell you what, Casey Bassett, she just exhorts this team. She wants them to just continually put that pressure on, pound away. And Coach Nichols has just about had enough. He's seen just about enough. He gets another technical, he's out of the game.
57-37, 7:45 to go third quarter. And Sterling has started this quarter on a 12-4 run.
Yeah, they
and
have scored,
quickly.
Yeah.
Gillen inside. Roberts takes the rock, goes up, is fouled from behind by Bethany Stuckey, and Roberts will go to the free throw line for two.
There has been no problem for Brittany Roberts getting positioned inside, getting to the basket. She's having a tremendous game for the Bulldogs.
Well, like I've said before, Steve, Brittany is not the tallest.
No.
As she stands at 5'9". She's not the most, I wouldn't call, just in terms of athletic. I would say she's a great athlete, but not the most.
No.
She's just so good at putting herself in the right position.
And
she is constantly catching the ball where she wants to catch it.
And I would challenge any player in the conference. Is anyone strong as she is? She is incredibly strong.
And she knocks down both of the free throw line to give herself 17 points. 57-39, 7.5 to go third quarter. A lot of basketball left to go tonight.
Yeah.
Not only this one finishing out, but the men's game as well. Starting at 6 o'clock here Central Time. Turns it into a long night, and Kyla Comley throws one into scorer's row.
And we have seen this Bulldog team go on some real tears at times. Remember against Southwestern, they were down 19, came back and took the lead, ended up losing at the end, but they came back and took the lead.
Ellie Gillen passes to the near side for Danny Holt. Bounce pass, Upchurch off the window, that's good.
Great pass, Danny Holt. Great cut, Upchurch. Real good offense by the Bulldogs.
16-point deficit now. Kyla Comley dribbles across the time stripe. Stutters right-handed.
Wow.
Too easy for Kyla Comley. She's got a dozen.
Kyla Comley probably could be playing at a higher level, but she chose to she chose to stay in her hometown.
Roberts goes up, and she will be
got
fouled by Kyla Comley, so she picks up her third.
Well,
team
that's
foul
what,
number 2.
Maybe they can get Comley in foul trouble. And they call that on the floor. My goodness, didn't see that.
Bethany Stuckey will be replaced. Yeah, I think it was on the floor. I thought that was the right call.
I thought
she hadn't really thrown up the shot yet. Mason Mosley will inbound up top, and this one's stolen by Alexis Theus into a 5-on-2. Theus pulls the basketball back out, and now back into the corner for Theus. Now she'll drive the baseline, pulls up from 8 and knocks it down.
Man, she is some kind of strong.
Alexis Theus now up to 11 points in the game. Roberts nearly loses it on her way in, somehow keeps it alive. Mosley into the lane. Holt goes up, left hand, scooping shot, it's good, and one.
And you feel like the Bulldogs are playing very good basketball, and you look up, they're down 18. That's how good Sterling is. They will make it, you can play well, they'll just make you look bad.
Jessica Carrillo draws the foul. That is her second, team foul number 3 on the Warriors. 61-43.
Danny's done a real nice job tonight. She and Brittany, one of the better 1-2 combos in the KCAC.
Holt misses the and one free throw, 61-43. Danny Holt now a steal. Here's Kanaja Upchurch into a 3-on-1. Mosley gets a nice seal in front of her by Brittany Roberts, and Mosley gets the easy 2. She's got 6.
Hey, we got a lot of ball game left. Sterling could start turning the ball over, or Comley get that 4th foul. Man, I tell you, Comley's got to be careful. Comley throws it away. That's a couple turnovers now on her.
Grabbed by Mason Mosley. Bulldogs trail by 16. Back to Danny Holt. Holt looks to drive. Holt steps in, right hand, and they will say
she got the foul.
They will call it on the defense, and the foul will be called. No, now they're going to call offensive foul.
Ooh, boy.
I never really saw a firm signal by anybody. That's why I was confused.
Danny's not really arguing, though, so got to like her aggressiveness, taking it to the basket.
Yeah.
Bulldogs are not giving up in this game, though, Jim. They're down 16, but, man, you just know Coach Nichols, he's got this team, how hard they play, and I think they're trying to figure out who the foul was on.
It was on Danny Holt.
Yeah.
That was the easy part.
Yeah.
Emily Hendrickson will inbound for Sterling as the Warriors lead by 16. And now another steal by Kanaja Upchurch, but her foot was on the line. Kanaja Upchurch just plays terrific defense.
Well, that's what she's on the floor for, is her defense. She really knows how to play. She's very poised for a freshman.
From the great city of Houston, Texas. felt a little bit like Houston today, Steve. It was warm today here in Central
Not
Kansas.
Tomorrow.
No, it's going to be nice and chilly. Back to Comley on the wing. Comley nearly double dribbles. Back to Emily Hendrickson, trying to throw it inside for Carrillo, who has been really tough tonight down in the post. Back to Carrillo. One-on-one with Roberts. Carrillo jumps and passes. Eilert, a 10-footer, no. And a rebound by Ellie Gillen, and the shot clock went off. But before the shot clock violation, a foul over the back on Bailey Bangert, her first.
And the first sub of the second half for the Bulldogs, Jarvis in for Upchurch. A little more offense from Jarvis. Upchurch, though, really good. I thought she's played really well tonight.
Brittany Jarvis, 5'4" junior from Imperial, California, and a transfer from Miracosta College. 61-45.
That's something this Sterling team doesn't do. They don't have very many transfers.
Not many. Jarvis takes it right to the rack and scores. Brittany Jarvis with 5 coming off the bench here tonight. Makes it a 14-point hole. Comley stops in the lane, fires from 10, blocked by Ellie Gillen. Here comes a rebound and Brittany Roberts. Roberts rumbling down the floor. Brittany Roberts, bounce pass. Mason Mosley gets it to go.
What a job by the Bulldogs. They have wiped off 8 points of this 20-point lead.
61-49, Mason Mosley coming to life as she's got 8 points. And we know that Brittany Roberts, Steve, is a great scorer and rebounder, but looking like a point guard there.
Man, I'll tell you, she did. She just handled that perfect.
There's not a lot of finesse to Brittany's game, but it sure looked nice with the finesse there.
She drew the defense to her, made the perfect bounce pass. I'll bet her dad taught her a lot about playing basketball.
He's up in the stands behind us, making the trip up from the Dallas metro area, from Mansfield, Texas. And I remember him telling us a couple weeks ago, this is the weekend I'm excited for because, remember, this is the second game of the week for the Bulldogs here on this Thursday. They'll play again on Saturday at home against Oklahoma Wesleyan.
And Brittany Roberts, 17 points, 8 rebounds. When you have games like that,
and don't forget those 3 assists.
Yeah, 3 assists. She's just been fantastic. Man, if the Bulldogs get a couple more stops, get this thing down to about 8 by the end of the quarter, they're in the ball game. Normally, Sterling is already deep into their bench. They're normally up about 30 to 35 by now, but they haven't been able to put these Bulldogs away.
Both teams have scored 16 points here in the third quarter with 4:45 left to go in the third.
And the Bulldogs are on an 8-0 run, and it's been keyed by the defense.
Emily Hendrickson passes for Bailey Bangert. Brittany Roberts at the top of this pressure. Bangert throws one over the top for Jessica Carrillo, nearly travels.
She did travel.
Not according to the men in the stripes.
They weren't watching.
Hendrickson, they go under the screen, and she tries a 3. Tipped out of bounds off of Sterling.
Oh, and Danny Holt, hopefully she didn't sprain her ankle. She's limping just a little bit.
Well, if there's one person I know who would play through it, it's Danny Holt.
Yeah, we had Danny Holt on our show, and I'll tell you, she's just a delightful young lady.
Plays hard.
Yep. Yeah, all these Bulldogs play hard. That's one thing Coach Nichols has done a great job of, instilling a hard work ethic.
How about a 3 to make this a single-digit game? Cutting to the basket, Roberts spins in, right hand, no. Offensive rebound, Danny Holt keeping it alive, passes into the lane. Jarvis tries to dive for it, but taken away by Kyla Comley.
That could have got it down to 10, and the foul on Brittany Roberts.
Which is really not a terrible foul, since Brittany only has 1 in the game so far, and you take away an easy 2.
But that puts Sterling at the free throw line, I believe. Nope, that was her 4th.
Man, not a bad foul at all.
Yeah. And they had the numbers advantage, so that was going to be a basket. So
well, it was going to be a wide open basket.
Yeah, smart play by Brittany.
So Kyla Comley will inbound. Nearly stolen. It is stolen by Mason Mosley. Into a 1-on-2. Mosley left-handed layup is good. Mason Mosley's got 10 after going into the halftime locker room with just 4. 3 baskets here in the third quarter.
10 straight by the Bulldogs. I bet Sterling in a KCAC game has not given up a 10-0 run this year.
61-51, 3:35 to go in the third. Can they cut it down to single digits? Jessica Carrillo back to the wing for Comley. Comley with a bounce pass into the corner. Bailey Bangert works around a screen. Back to Carrillo, fires a 3, and that one way off. Long rebound, though. This one did not hit the rim, and a shot clock violation.
It was with 6:31 to go. Sterling was up 61-41. We now have 3:18 to go. It's 61-51. The Bulldogs a chance to get it to 8, maybe 7. We said if they can get it down into single digits going into the fourth quarter, they're still in this game, and they are.
4 fresh bodies in, Molly Schulte-Henrich, as well as Tatum Griffin, Haley Hurst, and Kirsten Branscombe. 61-51 Warriors, 3:10 to go in the third.
Now it's up to the Bulldog bench to be able to hang with the Sterling starters because they got most of their starters on the floor.
Griffin tries to work the pick and roll. Backdoor, Branscombe, left hand off the window, it's good. Kirsten Branscombe, the sophomore from Gravette, Arkansas, makes it a single-digit game.
This is a team that will not go away. They just play with incredible heart.
Bailey Bangert passes up top for Kyla Comley. 2:40 to go in the third, 61-53.
Man, if they could get that fourth foul, there's an easy one.
Inside, Jessica Carrillo left alone, and she scores. That's 11 points for Jessica Carrillo, 63-53.
Branscombe got on the wrong side, and that was just a lob right over the top.
Hurst nearly has her pass taken away. It's tipped off the Warriors and into the Bulldog bench.
Again, if the Bulldog bench can just play the rest of this 2:23 of the quarter, which they probably will, they can just hold even with Sterling. That would be a big plus.
2-3 zone look for the Warriors here. The Bulldogs so far in this game, 2 for 13 for 3. Schulte-Henrich tries one. This one's short, and a rebound for Jessica Carrillo, who has 6 rebounds.
This is her first game of the year, so we really don't know what type of player she is, but I've been told she's a pretty good three-point shooter.
Bangert dribbles in, passes out to her twin sister, Sydney Bangert, and back to Bailey on the right wing. Up top, Brenna Eilert. Kyla Comley trying to feed the rock inside for Carrillo and stolen away by Kirsten Branscombe. Nice move by Tatum Griffin here on the near sideline. Griffin into the corner. Brittany Jarvis a 3. Yes! Brittany Jarvis, her second 3 of the game. She's got 8, and the lead is down to 7.
Wow, what a charge by the Bulldogs.
Kyla Comley passes to Bailey Bangert, who brings the ball across the time stripe. 1:25 to go in the third. 63-56. Comley dribbles in, passes into the corner. Eilert going to work into a triple team. Shot's no good. Rebound Tatum Griffin. The Bulldogs could make it a 4-point game with a 3. Griffin will pull the basketball back out. Haley Hurst trying to seal inside. The sophomore from Norman as Sterling goes back to a man-for-man.
15-2 run by the Bulldogs.
1 minute to go, third quarter. Back to Tatum Griffin in the corner. Griffin with 8 to shoot. Griffin inside Hurst. And a foul will be called on the floor, meaning that there are free throws coming up as Jessica Carrillo was grabbing at Haley Hurst. Carrillo's third, team foul number 5, and Haley Hurst with 2 big free throws here.
And Kyla Comley has basically gone the whole way in this quarter. She's going to have a break at some time, and if you're a Bulldog fan, you're wanting her to get that 4th foul somehow. Haley Hurst needs to knock these 2 down. It would be a 5-point game. Just 6 minutes ago, it was a 20-point game. That's what these Bulldogs do. They do not give up.
Haley Hurst, sophomore from Norman, Oklahoma, knocks down the first.
And, man, we had her on the show today. I tell you, she is very mature for a sophomore.
63-56, make it 57. And we found out that Haley is an Oklahoma State Cowboy fan, even though she grew up in Norman.
Yeah, Caitlin Lecker, the McPherson High assistant girls coach, of course, a great player at Oklahoma State, a 4-year player. And she says, yeah, I need to get to know Caitlin a little better.
63-58. The Bulldogs have made up 15 points over the last 5 minutes. Can they get a stop here before the end of the quarter? 63-58. Bangert gets away with a travel, passes to her twin sister, a 3, and she is fouled on the 3 and will go to the line for 3.
Man, that is just a really tough call. Branscombe just went flying at Bangert and ran right into her. It was a good call.
So Sydney Bangert will go to the free throw line for 2, where she is 3 for 4 tonight, 7 for 10 on the season. The first one for Sydney Bangert is good.
Yeah, those are the kind of fouls that just make a coach pull their hair out because they get that wide open of a look. You just got to let them go, and she just needed to go straight up instead of flying into her, and looks like they're going to make 3 here. Bangert is dialed in at the line.
Sterling so far in this game is 18 for 21 at the line. Third one for Sydney Bangert, 65-58. Wow. 66-58.
That is just a killer. That is a momentum killer right there.
35 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Bulldogs within 8.
Need a basket here.
Coach Nichols says let's hold the ball here for a moment, which is not something they normally do.
Yeah. Get
Down
Jarvis
to 20.
open for a three.
Jarvis on the wing. She's knocked down 2 threes in the game. 2 out of the 3 threes made by the Bulldogs. Back cut. Jarvis, floater, no. Rebound by Eilert with 10 seconds to go.
You don't want to foul.
Here comes Hendrickson. Hendrickson back to a trailing Banger. Now to 4 seconds. Now to 3 seconds. Bailey Banger drives in. Great defense by Branscombe. The rebound by Schulte-Henrich. And here at the end of the third quarter, the Bulldogs have put a dent into that Sterling lead, and they only trail by 8 going into the fourth and final frame, trying to give the Warriors, the number 16 team in the country, their first loss in conference play.
Yeah, the Bulldogs had let me double check, a 17-2 run.
Wow.
And you know, it was really bad was on that last foul. She missed the three, and it really wasn't the foul that caused her to miss the three. She had missed the three. Ball was already well out of her hand when the foul occurred. So those were kind of 3 gift points, and I think Sterling has the ball to start the quarter.
The ball will be in the possession of Sterling as I look at the possession arrow to our left. 66-58, the Warriors lead here at the start of the fourth quarter. The Bulldogs now up to 24 out of 53 shooting from the floor. A much improved third quarter there.
And as we always say, Coach Nichols always has 5 subs to start the fourth quarter on the floor.
The Bulldogs were 10 for 15 from the floor in that third quarter, Steve.
Yeah, I thought Brittany Jarvis really gave the Bulldogs a spark in that quarter. Did a really good job.
66-58. As the Bulldogs are trying to get above 500 in conference play, they entered the night 3-3.
Well, they've played Sterling about as close as anybody in the conference this year. Remember, their closest game in the conference has been 13 points. The rest of them have, you know, I think there's one other one under 20, but everyone else it's 25, 30, 40 points.
Start of the fourth quarter. Tatum Griffin, Brittany Jarvis, Molly Schulte-Henrich, as well as Haley Hurst and Kirsten Branscombe, the 5 on the floor for the Bulldogs. Dribbling in and stopping the lane, passing out to Alexis Theus are the Warriors. Inside, Bethany Stuckey draws contact, misses. Rebound tipped out by Haley Hurst and grabbed by Kirsten Branscombe. Up the floor, Brittany Jarvis. Bulldogs, a deep 3 from Jarvis. That's no good. Offensive rebound, Branscombe. Back to Tatum Griffin. Pumps on a 3. Griffin dribbles into the corner. They don't guard her. Pumps and throws it inside. Hurst spins and travels.
Oh, man, and she made a great move, too. She forgot to put the ball on the floor, though. Casey Bassett's down here. I mean, she is just about to go apoplectic.
66-58, 9:15 to go. The Bulldogs giving the Sterling team a great run for its money. Pass is deflected, out of bounds, and
great
back to
job.
the Bulldogs.
Haley Hurst, again, makes a great play, knocks the ball off Sterling. And Sterling's got, I would say, 8 really good players. When they go to their bench, their first 3 off the bench, they don't lose anything.
Schulte-Henrich throws in for Brittany Jarvis, down to 9 minutes to go. Bulldogs trail by 8. They have trailed by as many as 20 in this game. Branscombe draws contact and gets that roll. Branscombe makes it a 6-point game. Pass over the top for Bethany Stuckey.
And what a job by the Bulldog bench. The starters will probably come back in about another minute. They're going to be well rested to go for the home stretch.
Kyla Comley left open 3, way too strong. Rebound secured by Molly Schulte-Henrich.
Help her.
Dishes off for Tatum Griffin. They can make it a 1-possession game. Griffin pulls up from the free throw line. It's good. Tatum Griffin knocks down the J, and a timeout taken by Sterling. The Bulldogs are back to within 4.
And this was a Bulldog team that was dead in the water on the scoreboard, down 20 points. They have cut 16 points off of that in the last 7 minutes.
8:27 to go in the game, and the Bulldogs are back to within 4, and the starters haven't even been on the floor in the fourth quarter.
I'll go back. At 6:31 to go in the third quarter, Sterling led 61-41. They have scored 5 points. The Bulldogs 21.
Wow.
This is the number 16 team in the country, the team that has just been running roughshod, toying with the rest of the conference, just, absolutely knocking people out. And the Bulldogs, their bench is just doing an incredible job tonight.
Sterling has won 8 straight games and all 6 games in conference play. And this Bulldog team that took Sterling down to the wire last year, Steve, remember, they lost by 1 against Sterling last year here at home in the middle of that run, and they had a buzzer beater on a layup that didn't go in.
Yeah, and Sterling with 4 starters on the floor, you just wonder if they'll get worn out here down the stretch.
And that certainly happened to this Sterling team a year ago.
Yeah, they didn't have the depth. They got
Bethany Stuckey turns it over. Jarvis fouled and will go to the free throw line for 2. The defense of Brittany Jarvis so far in this game has been terrific off the bench, and a horrible turnover there on the Warriors.
Well, Jim, we saw Canton Galva's football team down 36 points on Saturday and then scored 66 unanswered. Now, I don't think the Bulldogs are going to score 66 points in a row on Sterling.
No.
But what a run this has been. Brittany Jarvis has been the key.
First one for Brittany Jarvis is good. It is a 3-point game.
Wow. This is unbelievable. I'm sitting next to the pistol, and he can't even believe it. He's sitting here. He's got his mouth wide open. He just can't believe it.
Second one for Brittany Jarvis is good. 8:15 to go. Bulldogs keeping the pressure on in the backcourt. The never say die Bulldogs, a dangerous pass over the top.
They're lucky that one didn't get picked.
Here is Kyla Comley trying to steady the ship. Comley forces a shot from the free throw line. No good. Rebound out of bounds, and they'll say it is off of Haley Hurst.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Comley has kind of struggled here after a good start.
4 for 11 from the floor, 0 for 3 from 3, but do not let her see the light of day and be open.
That's right.
And now Comley with a dangerous pass to Eilert on the inbounds.
And here come the reinforcements, the top 5 coming back in. And I'll tell you, when this reserves come out, there's a great job by Schulte. I can't say her late.
Schulte Hendrick.
Schulte Hendrick.
On the miss there by Bailey Banger. Griffin drives in. Jarvis pulls up from the elbow to tie. It's good. The Bulldogs have come from 20 behind to tie the game. 66-66. And now can potentially get a stop and take the lead. Comley, floater in, no good. Great defense. Bulldogs can take the lead with 7:25 to go. Here comes Tatum Griffin. A pull-up 3 in transition for the lead.
Oh,
that's no good, and a rebound for Jessica Carrillo.
Yeah, but Sterling has got to be getting gassed. Their
Kyla
starters
Comley.
are playing.
Comley dribbling in. Great defense, but she's fouled and will go to the free throw line for 2. Foul is going to be called on, we'll see,
Bulldogs.
Haley Hurst.
25-5 run. This is absolutely, these reserves should get a standing ovation from the MAC fans. What a job the bench did. Haley Hurst, Branscombe, Schulte Heinrich, Jarvis, Griffin. Man, were they fantastic.
66-66 with 7:11 to go. Kyla Comley to the line, knocks down the first.
What a comeback. The Bulldogs were down 19 to Southwestern, came back to take the lead. They were down 20 tonight and got it tied.
They had the lead early on, but have not had it since very early on in this game.
And free throws, you take away free throws and the Bulldogs will be winning this game.
Comley knocks down both. This almost for the lead as Gillen was driving in. Now Roberts throws up a shot, count the basket, and one.
Man, I thought she was going to get a charge because she kind of put her shoulder in. Maybe Gary Paul said, I don't want to hear any more from Coach Nichols. If I call a charge here, he may tear my head off.
Foul is on Jessica Carrillo, who has been great inside for Sterling in this game. It is her 4th.
What about the depth of Sterling? They got some girls that look really, really tired, and they're going to their bench now.
Roberts to give the Bulldogs the lead. Can't get the roll. Rebound Emily Hendrickson. And they keep the pressure on, but Sterling breaks out. Hendrickson pass into the corner. Comley pumps on a 3, drives the baseline. Back up top, Hendrickson to Carrillo. Carrillo steps in, left hand, shot won't go. Great defense. Bulldogs with numbers into a 5-on-4. Roberts passes off to Mason Mosley. Mosley drives in, and a reach is called on Emily Hendrickson. That is her 2nd, and team foul on the Warriors, number 3.
This is just, what an amazing game this has been. It's too bad this is actually not a bad crowd for the women's game, but it's too bad there's not more students here. I think the students are pretty much doing finals and things like that.
Into the lane, Roberts, great move for the lead. She's got it. Brittany Roberts has got 21 points, and the Bulldogs have overcome a 20-point deficit here in just 10 minutes.
My goodness. Defense. It's all about defense, and there's a foul on Gillen. Not a bad foul, only the second foul.
And just the second for Ellie Gillen. The Bulldogs lead by 2 with 6:24 to go in the game.
This is a Sterling team that beat Kansas Wesleyan, which is picked in the top 3. They beat them something like 30 points, I think, wasn't it?
28.
28.
Just 28.
Well, my math isn't good.
95-67 was that win. Comley pumps, passes back out to Hendrickson.
And you just wonder if Sterling's got tired legs. Their starters have been going almost the whole way.
10 to shoot. Hendrickson, step back 3 to retake the lead is good. Emily Hendrickson with 9. Sterling Reed takes the lead by 1, 71-70, 6:05 to go. Mosley to Ellie Gillen. Sterling goes back to a zone, and the pass comes through, deflected and touched by Sterling, and I think that is a good call for the Bulldogs.
It was off Brittany Roberts. It was right in front of us, and the referee was kind of blocked out, so he just assumed when Brittany pulled her hands back that it went out off Sterling, but that was off Brittany. Big break for the Bulldogs. Let's see if they can cash in.
Mason Mosley dribbles up top with 5:50 to go. Into the corner for Brittany Roberts. Now to Kanaja Upchurch. Sterling back into a 2-3 zone. Can the Bulldogs shoot him out of that zone? Kanaja Upchurch has to fire one at the gun. This one does, I thought maybe tip the rim, but they say it did not.
I think the Bulldogs just lost track of time there. Got to get a stop right here.
5:35 to go in the game. Kyla Comley trying to put the team on her back. Comley dribbles in. Nada Stahlbaumer passes back out. Hendrickson drives in. A lot of body there from Brittany Roberts, but gets the block and the rebound. Here comes Roberts dribbling down the floor. Roberts passes into the corner, and they will say deflected off of Sterling.
Bulldogs get another call. Casey Bassett.
We don't know. They haven't made a signal yet.
It's Bulldog ball, I think. Casey Bassett is going to lose her mind. She is just,
wow.
Yeah, she's got a reason. That was off the Bulldogs.
We'll throw one up top for Brittany Roberts. Gillen left open a 3 for the lead. No. Long rebound, though, grabbed by Brittany Roberts. She's got 10 in the game, another double-double. Gillen passes back out Mason Mosley. Shot clock has reset.
Plenty of time.
Halfway through the fourth quarter, Ellie Gillen to the baseline for Holt with 8 to shoot. Now to the top, Upchurch. Upchurch back to Gillen, left open a 3 for the lead. Yes! Ellie Gillen knocks down the 3, and the Bulldogs lead by 2, 73-71.
We know Ellie Gillen is still a great shooter. She hasn't shown it this year, but we know she has got the stroke. What a second half offensively for the Bulldogs. They have scored 40 in the second half.
How about this, Steve? I'm waiting for these stats to reset so that way I can get the number. Okay, so here we go. So the Bulldogs in the second half from the floor are 16 out of 25.
And this is not a good shooting team normally.
No.
They are not normally. Their defense is what wins basketball games for them, but they are just shooting the lights out tonight.
And if you take away the first couple of minutes of the second half for Sterling, they have been not a good shooting team over about the last 10 minutes.
Again, 61-41 Sterling at one point. The Bulldogs have come back and turned that around by 22 points.
Wow.
And it starts with defense. They got Sterling kind of out of their comfort zone. Sterling's not getting those easy layups that they got in the first half.
73-71 Bulldogs out of the timeout.
I just can't believe Comley never comes out as hard as she plays.
4:49 to go in the game. The Bulldogs trying to shock the KCAC. And now nearly a turnover. Eilert's able to come away with a basketball. Nearly travels and does travel.
And again, Sterling's had to go to their bench because they're tired. The Bulldogs were able to rest when their bench came in and did an amazing job. I think Sterling has got tired legs right now.
4:35 to go. Sterling is going to stay in a 2-3 zone. Can the Bulldogs make them pay?
And Ellie Gillen might be feeling it now. We saw last year she used to get them in bunches.
Trying to check the heat check meter. Mosley dribbles in, passes out, somehow gets through to Ellie Gillen, left wing, a 3, it is good! Ellie Gillen connects from downtown. The Bulldogs lead by 5.
Unbelievable. I've been saying that a lot in the last week. Is unbelievable. Get in front of Comley. It looked like she traveled.
Dribbles in. They pass into the corner for Banger. 4 minutes to go. Bulldogs lead by 5. Stahlbomber passes inside. Ball is tipped off of Danny Holt, and the Bulldogs will have to stay on defense.
Sterling had 45 points at halftime. They have 26 in the second. Don't give a roll-up to the basket now. No layups. They only have 2 fouls, so if they get free.
Dangerous pass inside. Stahlbomber passes back up top. Bailey Banger, 10 to shoot. Banger works around a screen. Now to Hendrickson, a 3. This one won't get the roll. Rebound number 12 for Brittany Roberts, who has 21 and 12. 11 out of the 13 games, Brittany Roberts has a double-double. Ellie Gillen.
Feeling it. She's feeling
They
it.
leave her open. She thought about the 3. Roberts squares up to the basket. Free throw line jumper. No. Bodies flying. And it will be
my gosh.
McPherson basketball. No.
I thought it was on Roberts.
It will be.
Will, yeah.
He said white ball.
Yeah.
Maybe he said Sterling ball, but he said white ball. Team foul number 3 on the Bulldogs.
That was a train wreck in there. Her body's littered on the ground. Sterling has not been in this position all year. They've either blown people out, their 2 losses, they got blown out.
76-71 with 3:25 to go.
And it all started with defense.
Here is Kyla Comley, who has had to play a little more sped up than I think she would like to.
Just don't leave her.
Comley
Traveled.
pulls up from 12. No good. Rebound, Danny Holt. Here's Mason Mosley crossing the time stripe. 3 minutes to go, and the Bulldogs lead by 5 over the number 1 team in the conference, who 20 minutes ago Steve said might go undefeated in the KCAC. And now they call Brittany Roberts for a travel.
And the Warriors with just 1 basket in the 4th quarter.
Wow.
And we played over 7 minutes. Banger back in.
Sydney Banger.
That's right.
Brenna Eilert out. Both Bangerts in the game. Alexis Theus, Kyla Comley, and Jessica Carrillo.
Well, the difference in this half, the Bulldogs have not given up those easy baskets.
Under 3 to go, Bulldogs lead by 5. Trying to pull off the biggest win of the season in the conference.
And if you turned us off with 6.5 minutes to go in the 3rd,
welcome back.
Welcome back, and you missed a bunch.
Bailey Banger, cross-court pass to her twin sister, Sydney Banger. Sydney dribbles in, passes back out. Bailey left, open a 3, and leaves it short. Rebound, grabbed, and it's a tug-of-war, and Danny Holt holds on. Jump ball in favor of the Bulldogs.
1 basket in the quarter, and that was the 3 by Hendrickson.
I'll tell you who I wouldn't want to get into a tug-of-war battle with.
Danny Holt.
Danny Holt.
Oh, yeah.
That would not be good.
She would chew us up and spit us out.
2.5 to go. Bulldogs lead by 5. McPherson has scored 76 points. Sterling only allows 67 a game. Upchurch passes to Roberts. Roberts picks up her dribble. Back to Danny Holt. Holt steps in. Euro stepping good. Danny Holt's got 10 points. The Bulldogs lead by 7. Here comes Kyla Comley dribbling coast to coast. Kicks it out. Theus, a corner 3, no good. Carrillo tries the putback and is fouled. I believe it will go on Brittany Roberts.
Yeah, and that'd be 4 on Brittany.
It is on Roberts, her 4th. And team foul number 4, and Carrillo to the line for 2. She is 5 of 6 at the stripe.
Yeah, if you had more timeouts, I think you'd call a timeout here and cool her off a little bit. But you only have 2 timeouts. You need those to advance the ball at times.
Carrillo's first free throw is good. Jessica Carrillo with 14 points in the game, 7 rebounds, and she is also playing with 4 fouls.
And Coach Nichols looking at all his notes here to see who do we foul. There's really nobody you can foul for Sterling.
2 minutes to go. Bulldogs lead by 5. Can they hold on and beat the conference's number 1 team and the number 16 team in the country?
Sterling with just 3 team fouls, so they can afford to be aggressive on defense.
If they get a basket here, boy, you'd start to feel good. Mosley passes to Ellie Gillen in the corner. Gillen dumps it down inside Roberts, and it's taken away by Kyla Comley. Speeding down the floor. Comley to Bailey Banger. Contested 3 is good.
Oh, that is a killer.
Up the floor, Ellie Gillen. Bulldogs lead by 2 with 90 seconds left.
Now you got to play to win. You can't play not to lose.
Mason Mosley passes off Danny Holt. trying to feed the ball inside for Brittany Roberts. Now Gillen passes to Roberts, and this one is turned over with 1:14 to go.
And now the Bulldogs are starting to show some weariness here. Gillen, 2 straight turnovers. Might want to use a timeout here. You got to settle them down just a little bit.
78-76. Can Kyla Comley and the Warriors find a way to come from behind here on the road? Bulldogs leading by 2. And you got to keep a hand in the face of Kyla Comley. 1 minute to go.
Do not give up a 3 to Bangert.
Back to Bangert. A 3, too strong. Rebound, grab by Ellie Gillen in the corner. Up the floor, Brittany Roberts has to be very careful. Roberts passes to Ellie Gillen, now to Mason Mosley.
Slow it down. They got to get under control. They are just flinging the ball all over.
Woo! Mason Mosley dribbles in, left hand and good. Mason Mosley says, slow what down? Right to the hole. She's got a dozen. Bulldogs lead by 4. Into the corner, Bangert. Back to Comley.
Don't give up a 3.
Down to 30 seconds left. Comley, reverse layup, no good.
Comley,
but she's out of bounds, and back to the Bulldogs.
And the Bulldogs are getting a timeout to advance the ball. Great job by Coach Nichols recognizing that. The Bulldogs get the ball at midcourt. What a great defense on Comley. A stunning fourth quarter by the Bulldogs.
They lead 80-76 with 24 seconds remaining.
Angelina Fraze, the assistant coach who I covered when she was Angelina Fiorenzi, goes, wow. She is, she's seen a lot of big games in her career, but nothing like this one. This is unbelievable.
80-76.
Mosley, what a play by Mosley. How many points does she have?
Mason Mosley in the game has 12 to go along with 4 assists, 5 rebounds. The sophomore from Woodward, Oklahoma.
This would send shockwaves through the rest of the KCAC. This would be the stunner.
How about the Bulldogs, Steve, with 61 points in the paint in this game?
That's
61
just silly talk.
out of their 80 points in the paint.
That is just silly talk. Now the Bulldogs don't have to shoot the basketball.
My goodness. Well, they're going to either get fouled or shoot.
And they're not in the 1-and-1 or the double bonus. They have to foul twice.
All right.
So get the ball in bounds, make them foul you. You take it out again, make them foul you again. So you can kill about 5 or 6 seconds here.
24 seconds left in the game. The Bulldogs lead by 2 possessions. Ellie Gillen to inbound. How good has she been in the second half? Gillen tries to get it into Mason Mosley and does. Mosley running around. Mason Mosley spinning around. Kills 5 seconds.
That's a great job by Maison, the Paisan.
Bailey Bangert called for the foul. That is team foul number 4 in the Warriors. So
now you just want to get the basketball in bounds. Just get it in bounds, hold the ball, make them foul you. If you make 2 free throws,
and they have a timeout in case they need to take one here to avoid a 5-second call. Gillen gets it inbounds to Mason Mosley. Mosley drives the baseline and is fouled with 15.7 left. And Mosley with 2 free throws here would make this win very difficult for Sterling.
I'm just kind of thinking of my man Brian Bay, the big Sterling. He is about as big a Sterling supporter. I'm sure he's probably listening tonight. He knows that, Sterling's his favorite team. I bet when they were up 20, he's thinking, well, another Sterling blowout. Well, that's what we were kind of thinking. We were almost getting ready for some filler. And I'll tell you, what a great job. Now they're saying they only have – that should be the 5th foul because it was –
they've got it right now.
They've
15.7 seconds left.
She needs to knock these 2 down.
And remember that Sterling has 2 timeouts, so likely will take one here regardless of a make or a miss and be able to advance the basketball. Mosley misses the first.
Need to make this one.
With 2 timeouts left, they will certainly use one as Mosley's second is good. And they will.
And now if you're the Bulldogs, I think you guard the 3-point line. Give them the 2 because that still makes it a 3-point game.
Right.
So guard the 3-point line. If they get 2, that's fine. Then you use your timeout and advance the ball again. Coach Nichols, master strategist here down the stretch.
15.7 seconds left and a 30-second timeout for Sterling, who will advance the basketball. The Bulldogs lead by 5, 81-76. And for those of you that are just now joining us, the Bulldogs really played well in the first quarter, hung in there, only trailed by 3. They then gave up a late run to trail by 12 at the half, and then Sterling jumped out to a 20-point lead in the first 3 minutes of the third quarter. But since then, it has been all Bulldogs.
One stop and the game is over. Again, do not give up the three. You can give up the two, but don't give up the three. And they give
up the three. Bailey Bangert's three is no good. Offensive rebound, and they will say a foul on the floor on Danny Holt.
That is a tough call.
So that puts Alexis Theus to the line for two with 12 seconds left. And again, if the Bulldogs were able to get the rebound or after a couple of free throws here from Theus, they'll likely take the timeout and take the advancement up the floor to avoid any sort of turnover in the backcourt.
That's right. And Gary Paul's the official, looks over and says, you want the timeout? And boy, she just kind of dribbled that one in.
Alexis Theus knocks down the first. The junior from Kempner, Texas, makes it a 4-point game. 12 seconds to go.
This is why you keep your timeouts to the end in the women's game, so the advancement rule. Bulldogs still up 3. Basically, all they got to do is get the ball in and draw a foul and make a free throw. One of two free throws. I think you want to get the ball in the hands of Mosley or Gillen because they're good free throw shooters.
81-78 with 12 seconds left to go. And remember, Steve, this is a Sterling team that has not lost since October 26th. They went whole month of winning. And then a few more days, or at least 4 more days into the month, without a loss for quite some time. The Sterling team that was 27-6 last year, 20-4 in the conference. And the Bulldogs have a chance with an inbounds, a free throw, and a stop to pull a huge upset off here
tonight. Well, if you're Sterling, you want Brittany Roberts to get the ball. Give it back. Yeah, see.
They give it to Roberts with 10.6 left, and Sterling has one more timeout.
Yeah, you didn't really want Brittany to get the ball. They begged the Bulldogs to throw it to her. All she's got to do is make one, Jim, and I think the Bulldogs be in pretty good shape.
Roberts is a 51% free throw shooter. Tonight she's 3 for 5.
She gets 2 chances here. All she needs to do is make one, basically.
Roberts with 21 and 12 in the game here tonight. And the first one spins in and out.
It looked good when it left her hand.
10.6 to go.
Now, if she misses this one, do you think about fouling on a 2?
10.6 left. Second one for Brittany Roberts is money. And a timeout taken by Sterling for one more chance at the advancement. Both teams will be out of timeouts here with 10.6 to go. And a huge free throw there by Brittany Roberts makes it 82-78.
And you don't want to foul on a 3. That's the only thing you want to avoid. If they shoot a 3, fine, and make it. Just get the ball in bounds, and then you get fouled, and you can close this game out.
10.6 seconds left. Sterling will be able to inbound over on its half of the floor. And what a win this would be for the Bulldog program. And we talked about it with Coach Nichols earlier today, Steve, talking about being able to beat the bottom teams in the conference. Of course, you want to be able to do that. But where you just start to change your program is with wins over teams in the top half, and especially wins over teams that are number 1 in the conference. Sterling will inbound. 82-78, inbound to Jessica Carrillo. Back to Hendrickson. Open 3, no good. Rebound for Ellie Gillen. Up to Mason Mosley with 2.4 left. And the Bulldogs with a 4-point lead and 2.4 to go are going to hold on and give Sterling its first loss in KCAC play.
I wonder when's the last time the Bulldogs beat a nationally ranked team.
It's been a while.
I can see Brittany Roberts' dad's going, don't celebrate yet. Well, you can see, he says, all right, now you can.
Mason Mosley knocks down the first.
Man, how big has she been in this second half? What a shocker at the Sports Center.
The Bulldogs have put Sterling on upset alert. They overcome a 20-point deficit in the second half and beat the number 1 team in the conference 83-78 and give the Warriors their first L of the conference season. What a win.
And the Bulldogs have now beaten the defending KCAC champion Tabor and the team that is leading the KCAC in Sterling. This is a shocker. This is going to send shockwaves throughout the KCAC.